Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome once again. We are playing, what's this game? World of Warships Legends. Like we do damn near every day, right? We are slumming it all the way down in the tier 2. We are in the Medea. Medea, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. This is a British premium destroyer. But we were playing through the weekly premium supplies mission, so you can see we are flying solo tonight. No division for us. Pretty decent range for torpedoes for a tier 2. So we will take full advantage of that. You can see when it's just like 7.5 kilometers, like something ridiculous for tier 2, right? But we can already fire almost all the way through zone A, even just as we approach here. Obviously we're not going to be able to hit this battleship, but he's really the only thing to look at the moment. And we will go into the zone, depending on what happens, and see if we can't get the cap on it, right? So my kind of thought process behind getting zone caps, it is kind of sort of your job when you're a destroyer. That's kind of something you want to prioritize, but not at the risk of your ship, right? So if you're going to a zone, you kind of, even as you're approaching, if you're still not spotted, you want to kind of have an exit strategy, right? So we spot this wikis. He is dropping his smoke screen, so I'm assuming I shouldn't have to drop mine, right? Unless he keeps moving or something, weird like that. But looks like we're going to have to take one torpedo hit here. We're just going to have to choose which one we want. We chose the front one, right? But you only need one health point to win the game, right? So we will march on, right? So don't give up. This is going to be a perfect example of a don't give up game, because that is a huge buzzkill to take a torpedo hit that early on. But you can still win this one, and you can still come out as a top player in this match, right? So you only need one health point. We've got some torps coming from the left, but then we have this island right behind us, so that's giving us plenty of cover. I'm sort of wondering where that wikis went, since he's not in the zone, so he didn't approach. There he is. We've got our smoke screen going now, so we've got free reign to fire all we want, so we will do that as much as we possibly can. See if we can't help out with these destroyers, right? So there's another one capping zone B. I'm sure we'll have to deal with him at some point, right? Because that's probably where I want to go next. We do have the battleship off to our left on the mini-map too that we were eyeing up when we first spawned in, but and another destroyer over there too, so we'll have to kind of figure out what we want to do once we get this capped, and then our smoke screen's going to run out at some point. We still have a minute left, but we're not going to be too valuable here for too much longer anyway, especially if there's nothing we can shoot, right? So, torps coming. Should be a pretty easy dodge there. We are going to take shots at this Corbett, because I'm going to guess he's going to turn in towards A, right? So it'd be kind of silly of him to just keep going around all the zones. Let's see if I can't get a defend here on this V170, right? No, he's going to leave the zone. If you're going to leave the zone, I'm not going to shoot at you just yet. So we are unspotted, so we're being stealthy, so that's why we're not firing our guns. The moment you fire your guns, you're going to get spotted if you're not sitting in a smoke screen as a destroyer, right? So this is the moment of the game where I can't decide what to do. So we are literally way down on ships. We have lost 4 ships, and they have lost none. So we are literally surrounded. So the more I fire my guns, the more I'm going to be spotted, and the more amounts of ships that will potentially shoot at me, right? So we need to pick and choose our battles here and make sure we've at least got some cover before just opening fire, right? So we've got plenty of islands between us. We are getting defense on this V170, so he is not able to cap that zone because we are hitting him while he's capping it. So that helps with XP as well, and credits ultimately too, right? So we'll take a blank shot kind of in towards where he was with the torpedoes, just because we've got him. We'll have to do some dodging here. We'll turn in. And then holding off on shooting torpedoes here so I don't hit my allies. Of course, it doesn't hurt them, but then you block them and you can't get any damage against the enemy, right? So you want to make sure you don't hit allies, right? We'll take a few cheap shots here just to try and draw fire away. Or the other thing too, if you get that destroyer V-170 with that torp hit, I was a little bit lucky there. But he, we anticipated he would keep heading that direction, right? So we fired our torpedoes. So there's a little bit of, just making the smart move and trying to anticipate what your enemy's going to do, and then, getting the hit too. So we get their Toronto as well. That puts 2 on the board for us. And then this Wikis is back again, trying to steal our zone that we capped early on. So I was hoping to get defend medals against him, but he decided to leave the zone too. So sure, you do you, buddy. And that would have made perfect sense. So now we have 3 ships killed, and the tables haven't quite turned yet, but they're more even, right? A little bit closer. And since we've had a zone, now we just now ticked above their points as well. So now we've got 285 to their 280 on points since we've had that zone. So even though we were down a ship, typically you would, all other things even, if you have fewer ships than them, they would typically have more points than you. But we had that zone capped. So this comes down to a points game for us, and that is what I'm thinking at this point in the game, right? So if I can stay unspotted, keep them from, just doing cheap shots, keeping them from getting zones, we could potentially win even if we have less ships than them, right? Just because we could get zone caps, run away, keep them from capping their zones, right? So that's kind of my game plan at this point, but we get another kill. That puts us up to 3. These guys are just doing exactly what we want them to do today. And, granted, it's tier 2, so, sometimes people are a little bit more predictable in those lower tiers, It's always a toss-up, right? So it's like, okay, they're rookie players, so they may not do what they're supposed to, but at the same time, they may just, continue on their path, when they're not going to change course because they suspect a destroyer, right? So some of that's a little bit of lower tier, some of it's a little bit of luck, and then, then we have us, sort of anticipating their movements, right? So we will press into C now that we've solo capped 2 zones here. I wonder if there even is an XP or damage record out there for this ship on the internets, right? If we would get that or not, it'd be interesting to see. But these tier 2s, I can't imagine there's too much competition for trying to have the best score in these ships. But this is turning out to be a pretty good game. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Alright, so prioritizing the zone cap, we are really taking a lead on points now. So this went from a losing game to a winning game at this point. And we're even on ships too. So like I said, when you take that early torpedo hit, don't throw away your ship just because you're frustrated. It's a buzzkill, but you can still turn things around, and this is a perfect example of that. I love me some comeback games, right? Like, they're the best. They're the ones that get me fired up for in order to keep playing this game, right? Like, they're like boring wins, and you're like, yeah, I'm done for the night. Well, it's turnaround games. The underdog winning, that's more fun to me. Alright, the Romulan Empire needs to go down here. We will take our guest chance torp shots towards him. He is obviously not going to shoot at us because he is hyper-focused on the battleship that is right next to him. So he dumped all his torpedoes over there. We kind of don't want to get into a gun battle with him. We don't have the best guns, but it is tier 2, and we have a little bit more health than he does. But we're at half, and yeah. So we are doing this gun battle. I'm thinking he's not firing because he's probably trying to aim his torpedoes this way, right? So if you see a destroyer not firing their guns when it makes perfect sense for them to be firing their guns, they're probably sending torpedoes your direction, right? So since he was facing the other way at that other battleship, that gave us all the extra time we needed to finish him off, and we're going to turn left thinking that those torpedoes were coming, and sure shit, there they were, right? So there is one ship left. There is one battleship. If our 2 ships, we have 2 other ships on our team, It can't finish off that one battleship. We can get a Kraken in this glorious Tier 2 Medea game that we're playing tonight. 3 solo caps. It's all us, guys. It's all us. Just give me all 9 players. 1 on 9. Let's do it, right? We can be sneaky and kill everyone right now. It would be kind of fun. I think there should be some game types like that where there's just like, you know, like maybe give you a higher tier, right? Like maybe give you a tier 5 and you go against 4 of, you know, tier 3 ships or something, you know, just to do it. I think you probably can do that in the like training rooms, right? But it's not as fun because you're by yourself, right? Or with friends, right? Just some randos. Yep, he takes out our itchy coochie. All right. We lose a battleship. Our cruiser's at full health. I don't know why he's just kind of running away. Like, I mean, typically is that, you know, this game is very much so a rock paper scissors mentality, right? Battleships are really good at taking out cruisers, so maybe our cruiser doesn't want to risk his life, since we should win as long as one of us survives, right? But that could be his thinking there, and that's why he's angling himself away and moving away. But since the Corvette is not paying attention to us, his guns are facing our cruiser, we can get cheap shots here and maybe we can get a kill. Maybe we can get a Kraken after all at tier 2. Heyo. Yep, he's still... Man, if I was him, I would have looked at me and saw that I was super low on health and just tried to get a kill, you know, like try and finish this destroyer off, you know. It's a losing game at this point. If you can't survive, like, you might as well try and get a kill out of it, right? But I can't believe our destroyers, or our cruisers, just not taking them out here. So I kind of assumed he would run into the outside wall, and so that's why I fired those torpedoes super short, but now, of course, he's turning to avoid hitting the wall. So he will be broadside to us if he survives long enough for our torpedoes to get reloaded again. What I should have done is taken my own advice and saved a rack, right? Like, it's kind of not smart when you're a destroyer, guys, to just dump everything. Don't send all your torpedoes. Like, space them apart. Alright, so he's turning this way. We'll smoke since we don't have to chase him down anymore. If he comes towards us, it's going to be even all that much easier for us to hit him with torpedoes. Our cruiser can keep him spotted for us. We don't have to worry about that. And we can maybe light him on fire again. We can finish him off, right? I feel like he must have some healths going or something, because I feel like we've killed him 3 times over now with our bullets, but apparently not. Come on, baby. Whittle him down. I can't believe our cruiser just hasn't just annihilated him at this point. Like, he should be... You know, he's missing a lot, I guess. That doesn't help. But he should be lighting fires, too. There we go. Mandatory horn honk with that torpedo finish there. We get the Kraken at tier 2. We'll see where we end up on the leaderboard. I can't imagine we're not at the top with 3 solo zones capped, 5 ships destroyed, right? That puts us 2,000 XP at tier 2. That's pretty damn good. We'll take it. We'll take it. We make some credits? We can make some credits in this game too, right? Yeah. We got a devastating strike in there. Oh, probably a destroyer we hit with a torpedo or something. Yeah, 134,000 silvers, credits, whatever you want to call them, from tier 2. That's pretty impressive. Yep. We'll quick see how we have this commander set up. We don't play with him a lot, so we're actually missing some stuff. Occasionally you need a commander for like a bureau project, and I rank them up and then don't actually like pick inspirations and stuff. So, but you can move them up a little bit, and maybe pick an inspiration. Let's see, who should we do? Maybe we'll do that later. And we don't even have the one modification available. We didn't even pick that. So we could have done so much better, you guys, with this one thing in here, right? Alright, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We will keep putting out more World of Warships Legends videos just for you.